Hi, welcome to another video on the Target Individual Program, the Target Individual Experience. Having, I guess, been doing video regularly, and it's for a reason. It's to, um, you know, just videotape footage of, with the majority of with the police harassment, the noise campaign involving fire trucks, police vehicles, ambulances, and as well as perpetrators who are blatantly engaged in the psychological harassment. Okay, so I'm going to show you a few videos on how, again, the use of police to try to intimidate me, to try to threaten me. Also, the use of the civilian perpetrators to psychologically harass me. And, just talk about a few other things that has been happening. Uh, but first, I want to talk about the psychological manipulation, or some parts of it, and to let other TIs know that you can fight back. You know, you don't have to let them silence you, because that's is what they're trying to do. They're going to threaten you psychologically. They're going to threaten you uh, with a whole host of things. All right. So from threatening you with being homeless, being incarcerated, being financially destitute, threatening you with being alone, not being able to find someone to share your life and your life experience with. If you have children, they will threaten your kids. They'll do a lot of staring drills at your kids, what just like they do to mine, and there's a whole host of other things. So one of the things that they like to do, and I've talked about this, and I like to rehash and talk about this stuff from time to time because we need to keep it fresh in our mind, okay, of what it is that's being done. So this never-ending test that they like to engage in, okay, with you, uh, you know, this section of psychologicalharassment.com, psychological manipulation, behavior, antisocial change. We talk about beneficial intention, the never-ending test. One example of this strategy or tactic is to interpretate the event as a test. The result is that the victim feels he or she is on a never-ending test, since these situations, events, and attacks are usually repetitive in this kind of ongoing psychological harassment and psychological war. They have the word "or" in there. I'm just going to replace it with "and" because it is psychological harassment and it's psychological warfare. Many of these tactics can also be considered to be psychological torture or used for psychological torture. Okay, the my space, your space, not behind me. A tactic that is sometimes used to make the victims feel vulnerable or more threatened is to be threatened in some way and have the perpetrator stand directly behind them and out of view. And I'm going to explain this in one of the videos, okay? Instinctively, you would not want someone that is hostile towards you to stand directly behind you and out of view, whether you feel threatened by the threats that were made or not. You may have also noticed that when a person is hostile towards you and acts aggressively by trashing or hitting objects, it can trigger more of the fight or flight response from you. A similar tactic to the first is for a person that is hostile towards you to motion an object towards you. Like they'll throw, you know, sometimes what they do with me is that they'll throw stuff right in front of me. Okay, as they're walking towards me, it'll either be like a piece of tissue, and they'll just throw it in front of me. Okay. Uh, okay, so that is hostile towards you to motion an object towards you, towards your face, or to be in or come into your space. Staring drills to provoke and manipulate. So we have to know what the cause and the effect of what it is that they're doing to you. Okay? So, staring drills are used to intimidate, provoke, make a person aggressive, and to destabilize the victims. It's linked to manipulation, credibility, and justification. One technique is to simply stare at the victim, and another is to whisper you are scared and engage in staring contests. The domination game, who dominates who? Some people may worry or have stress about who they believe they can dominate or dominate and who they may or may not dominate. The word or metaphor alpha male, as in wolf pack, is also often used to describe a leader or someone in a leadership position. People in the workplace or in a relationship may continually try to dominate each other, causing conflicts and tension. And I can attest to that because in my relationship with the kids, with my two youngest kids' mother, Pam, with the targeting that's going on, she's targeting me and stuff like that. She's actually trying to dominate her will over me, and I'm just not having it. That's not going to happen, and because I'm a TI, they feel that, and not just her, but people around you, if you, however small your circle is, if they're not TIs themselves, they will constantly try to psychologically dominate you and even physically dominate you at times. Okay? So now that we've talked about that, all right, let's start go to the videos of my targeting within the last couple of days. Now, like I said, I haven't been videotaping on a regular because, again, going through this over and over, the repetitiveness of what they do, you kind of anticipate certain things that they're going to do also. Okay, so I just waited, was patient, and then as soon as they start using the cops, I started recording. And coincidentally, immediately after they start using the cops, the storage space on my phone went down. So before I had like 16 gigabytes of space. When they start targeting me using the cops, I only had 5 gigabytes of space. So I had to be very selective in how I record because, I just didn't have enough space on my phone. And, they did this on purpose because I had factory reset my phone and I had like 20 gigabytes of storage space or 21 gigabytes of storage space available. And then that went down to 16 and now it's back down to 5. So I have to do another factory reset and see what happens. But it's strategic, and they do this for a reason, because of the heavy targeting during the day when I'm out, and because I record in 1080p, and it takes up a lot of space on the phone. So I have to be very selective. So some of the targeting that happened to me, I was not able to record. And then, especially one in particular, which I really wanted to record, but all of a sudden my phone died. Okay, and I'll explain that later on, as I do this video. Okay. All right. So let's go to the first video, and this happened on the is that? September 28th, right? So I had just actually I was waiting to for parking. You know, I mean, I was parked, but I had to wait again till 10 o'clock before I could exit the car, else I get a ticket. Okay, and all of a sudden, these two perps showed up, and they're perps perpetrators. They do this deliberately. What they have been doing now, because they've been psychologically attacking me so heavily, is that every time I'm waiting in a car, they will have one or two perps come. They'll stand up either in front of the car or on the side of the car, right? Depending on what side of the street I am. Sometimes they'll stand up on the side where the driver's seat is at. If it's on the other side, they'll stand up on the side where the passenger seat is at. And immediately as I look at them, they'll start to do these hand signals and stuff like that. But the thing is that when take my phone out, for some of them, and I start recording, they walk away. Okay, others, they'll stay there because they don't want to make it look so obvious, and then they'll try to mask the targeting. Okay, so these two perps showed up. These two brainless perps showed up, and I was looking at my phone, and I have my phone in my hand on my lap. So, but I can see them because I didn't look up, but I kind of like, saw them. I just kind of like look up with my eyes and above my head, and they were looking to see if I was looking at them. And again, like I said, I didn't lift my head up to look at them, but I could see them. So when they see that I wasn't looking, they stood there, okay, because they were waiting for me to, look at them so they could start doing these hand signals. Okay, so let's start the video.
These perps standing there. Watch they turn around to see if I'm looking. This is what they do.
Okay, so this was
So he came over here.
when they walked up and they stood there. Both of them looked towards me, but again, like I said, my head was down, but my eyes was looking up, so I saw them, but they didn't see me looking at them. So they stayed there, okay? And this is how they work, and I'm gonna show you how they work in tandem with other perpetrators, right?
Yeah, both of them came standing over there.
So you see this guy walking across, he's going to say to them something like he's looking, and then they're going to turn around, right? And he's telling them I'm recording too, so they're going to play it off. So they're going to look, they're going to turn around and look, but they're not going to look directly at me, but they can still see me. Okay, they're going to look down the sidewalk, but again, because the peripheral vision, they can see me, right?
I saw them. They gave them a signal. Yeah, no, I'm recording.
See, so as soon as now they turn around. See, because now I'm looking. Right, so now you see he starts moving, start kicking his feet. Okay.
Yeah, funny. This is what they do. They stand up there. Of all the places to stand up, they stand up.
Yeah, he's kicking his feet.
Mm-hmm.
Right, kicking his
This
feet
is
out.
the mental state and the mentality of some of these people. Okay. It just goes to show you the mental illness that these people have.
That's right.
Literally stalk an individual over and over. Okay. Literally stalk an individual over and over.
And now he looks at his watch, and then they're gonna walk off.
Okay. Goodbye. Goodbye. You know what y'all doing. Yep. Walk on by. Perp, 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 perp.
Okay, so this is a tactic that they use, and you're gonna see more of this. Okay, you're gonna see more of this. I'm gonna show you more of this. But this is what they do on, especially when I'm being targeted heavily, when they feel that they have an opportunity to target me heavily. This is what they do. Every time I pull up in a parking space, or if I'm sitting in the car, they will do this. Okay, they will find some reason to come and stand in front of the car, on the side of the car, waiting for me to look at them so they can start doing hand signals. Okay. Okay, so now this is on the this is Friday. Was it Friday or Thursday? What date was that? I'm sorry. This is where's the video? I'm trying to figure out what date. So this is the 5th, right? So the 5th, I believe, was Friday. Friday, right? I want to say Friday. Let me make sure. Yes, Friday. All right, October 5th. Okay, so this is in the morning. I had just dropped Pam off at her job, and this white van pull out of the parking space, the parking lot, not the parking space, the parking space by the hospital where she works at. And it's funny because when I dropped her off, it was like this dude was waiting. He was just waiting because as I about to drive off, he just got out of that parking lot real fast to jump in front of me. Okay, and so that's why I started recording because listen, the past couple of days they've been targeting me heavily with vehicles with the number 32 in it, and we've talked about this in my other videos, right? This is a number that I've been conditioned to, in which they will try to use to trigger something that they put into my subconscious mind, okay, and this acts as a trigger. But the thing is that it doesn't trigger any type of negative thought or negative feeling, okay? But because I know about psychological conditioning and know that repeated patterns are used, repetition are used to condition people, okay? And when these people have been conditioned, using, whether it be classical conditioning or neurolinguistic dark NLP, okay, and particularly this is dark NLP because this is like anchors and triggers, right? So this is an anchor, which is the number, and then the trigger is supposed to be a negative emotion or a negative thought pattern, right? Or because what they have done is that they have attached this number to something. So whether it be a thought pattern, an emotion, a place, you know, what else? It could be anything, right? So, and they've been using that number like, you know, unbelievable. But, you know, I've conditioned my mind that when I see that number to think certain things, and so it doesn't have the effect or the desired effect that they, had initially uh, implanted in my subconscious for me to have. Okay, so like I said, so this guy he just speeds in front of me. Okay, he's driving this big van, van. It's a one of those like a mini bus, what have you. So I started recording. Okay, and let me just go to the video because you'll see again how they target me. Okay, let me turn off the radio because I don't want to get copyright infringement. Now, a lot of these people walking up and down, sideways, a lot of them are perpetrators. Okay, and remember, this is all the script. This is part of the psychological warfare, psychological campaign. Okay, I'm going to speed up here. Let's see, is it this one? Okay, let's go back. I'm gonna let this play. Because there's certain things I don't remember, so I'm gonna let it play. But I know coming up shortly something that's very important that I want you guys to see. Okay, so I think it was right here. Okay, now let me get this. Okay, so see this guy right here. This is how they, if you try to give me the middle finger. Let me go back. I wish I could play this slow motion so you guys can see. Okay. So you can see here as he tried to sneakily, if that's a word, but covertly give me the middle finger. Okay, and then takes his glasses and he puts it down. Okay, and now so she now takes her glasses. Okay, I want you to see that. Let's go back slightly. So the dude, you'll see he takes his glasses and all of a sudden he puts it on his face now, right? So let's go back. Went back a little too far, but that's okay. So you'll see. Still went back a little too far here. Okay, go back a little bit more. Come on. Yeah, it's a little difficult because to control this, it's, you know, I wonder if I should use the okay, so I can do it that way. All right. So let's I use the keyboard to control instead of the mouse. Okay, so I need to explain this part. I'm not going to pause the video, but I'm going to try to explain as quick as possible. Okay, so you're going to see the guy, him covertly, glasses down. Now, watch this woman now. So she has her glasses on. Okay, she's right here coming. She has an envelope in her hand. Right here, okay? She's looking up, and then she takes her glasses, puts it over her head, looking up. Now you're looking up at the sun, so but you're taking your glasses off. You had your glasses on your face, and you're looking up at the sun, and you're taking your glasses off. You can't see nothing. But again, when they do stuff like that, which is totally, you know, irrational, I would say. You know. There's something going on here, something at play here. Again, as I approach the light, this woman all of a sudden now she ties her scarf over her neck. She walks across the street with her head down. Okay. So, I'm just using the keyboard to fast forward. Okay, so let's skip past some of this stuff. Okay, I think okay. All right, I went a little bit too far ahead. All right. Okay, here we go. So as I'm turning, this construction worker, he starts pinching his nose, covering his mouth with his hand. Um, Pause it there. You see him right there. See? Okay, he's covering his nose and his mouth with his hand. Guys are hearing the sirens outside. Okay, so let me get, and this is Friday, right? So you know there was a lot of targeting over the weekend. Started from Thursday, and out to Friday, Saturday, and today's Sunday, which you know wasn't too bad today. But I just want to show you guys this again, like how they'll use the police, right? And you'll see clearly the civilian perpetrators working in tandem with members of the police force to engage in psychological warfare against people. So yeah, again, the red theme, see the car makes the U-turn in front of me. So they'll use, you know, certain themes, certain colors. Okay, here's another lady, the red. She turns her back towards me. Okay, and then here's another red theme. As you see the guy in the red sweater walking across. Okay. Okay. Okay, so now. Okay, now I want you to watch this girl right here. Because all of a sudden, when the police car drive past me, sirens on, you're gonna see her, she's gonna start playing with her hair. Okay? She's gonna she glance over at me and then she starts playing with her hair. Okay? See that? See her? Right there. She's right there. Okay? Alright. Now. You're not done. So this is a a blue and white NYPD police cruiser. Okay. Now, at this point, because they were coming towards me, but all of a sudden they pulled over after the police cruiser passed them, and I think he warned them that I was recording. So they're going to change their tactic. Okay. So now they acting as if they're pulling over. Okay, there's two of them. See, there's one right here. Lights flashing. It's an unmarked police vehicle. Okay, and then there's the other one's behind it. Right. Now, had I not been recording, okay, they would have drove past me, sirens blazing, noise campaign, and let me go back here also. And then you're gonna see the theme that's repeated here. So the camera didn't pick this. It, didn't get her. But you see, all of a sudden now she's stopped playing with her hair, and then she goes stop playing with her hair again as the camera turns. See, there she go. There you go. And she's looking at the police vehicles, right? And she's playing with her hair. She looked at me, playing with her hair. Turned, looked at the police vehicle, stopped playing with her hair again. Okay. Guess what? They only need parking space that's opened up. All these cars waiting for parking, but they didn't park behind this car. Why? Because it's a red vehicle. So that parking space there was meant for me. Okay? I'm about to talk about the color coded, the color coded thing that they do. Okay? All right. So that was Friday morning, and Friday afternoon, got the kids from school. Had to go pick up Pam from her job because we were going grocery shopping. Okay, so got to the block where the hospital is on, where she works. Double parked, and not long, perp decides that they're gonna stand across from me and blatantly target me. Okay, so let's go.
Look at this prep lady. Okay.
So when I looked over her, she started doing these hand signals, and then I started noticing that there were people who were walking by that were also because like I said, sometimes I feel like there are people that know what's going on, and they know she was a perp. They know she was standing there to target me, because when they were walking by, they were targeting her. So you see this woman right here, as she walks by her, she sticks her finger in her hair, not in her hair, excuse me, in her ear, right, while she's looking at this woman right here.
Yeah.
Okay, and then she pinched her nose.
She just come. Okay? She just stood up right there. Okay.
Then when she realized she's being recorded,
she's doing some hands.
All of a sudden you see her hands goes up to her face.
So you gotta put the camera on her. And she tried to mask her hand signals on her targeting.
Now, did you see what happened here?
I'm trying to mask.
You guys see that? Okay, let's go back. Now watch this woman right here.
Hand signals on her targeting.
Looks at me, looks at her phone, puts her phone down.
I'm trying to mask it. But once you understand and realize what's going on, okay, they can no longer mask their tactics and their technique from you, because you are aware. Okay, so about everybody, look at this.
And like I said, once you understand what it is that they're doing and how they mask their hand signals, okay, so that when other people look at the video, they're like, well, I don't see her doing anything wrong. But I think I've explained enough to you guys for you guys to understand, the masking of the hand signal and the masking of the psychological targeting, covertly, the covert targeting that they're engaging against me. And so, I was like, hey, I gotta expose it, right? Okay, so let's go to another video. So now in this video, you'll see we're leaving. I think Pam came to the car, and so I had the video off, and we had a group of people, 3 people, came standing by the side of the car having a conversation, very loud. And as soon as they saw me hit the record button, they dispersed. Yeah, and that's what they do. Okay, because a lot of them who engage in this type of psychological harassment, they don't want to be caught on camera. Okay, and not also that, but they don't want their conversation to be recorded because in their conversation are hidden subliminal messages. Okay, so again, in order for us to prove, we as TIs to prove what's being done to us, we first have to understand what is being done. We have to understand the psychological program. Okay, we have to understand the psychological tactics in order to explain it to others who have no idea, or who may have some idea, but they're not sure until we can explain it and bring them video evidence as proof of what we're saying is happening to us and it's truly happening to us. Okay. So you see how again how they're very meticulous in terms of preventing me from exposing and recording. Yeah, and that's some of them. Okay, I think there are some that they
footage or audio
for whatever reason they're afraid to be caught doing this stuff.
So I have not been recorded for a while. I recorded earlier today, and I got some very good footage because I was just laying in wait. Okay, because I knew that they were going to come out and do something, and I was going to be able to capture it, which I was able to do this morning. And again, it involved the police. Okay,
that was the video I showed
in front
you
of the car.
Vehicle. All right, let me just get past this. Okay, so remember that vehicle I talked about this morning, that same bus, that minivan, whatever you want to call it, with the number 32 in it. Here it is again. It shows up again. All right.
And you will remember this
as I'm waiting for Pam.
Man from this morning.
You can chalk it up as being coincidence. But when you're a TI, you're targeted. It's not coincidence. And because I'm recording, you guys will see that there are not other vehicles that have the number 32 in it, because a lot of people that have the number 32 in the license plate are part of the perpetrator community. Okay, they engage in the psychological operation against targeted individuals. Okay. All right. Let's move on to the next video. So Pam got in the car. I had the kids in the back, and we are now headed to do groceries. Okay, let's play this video. And I actually did a little bit of editing on this video in terms of brighten the video up so you guys can see better, because it's one particular part in this video where I'm going under like a bridge, so it's dark, and I want to be able to show exactly what's going on, and here it is. Okay, so let me explain this first, all right, because I don't want you guys to miss it. So I'm going under this walkway bridge, okay, and there are people standing up by the bus stop. As soon as I pull up, okay, by the bus stop, okay, not in the bus stop, but by the bus stop, because the light changed, you'll start to see them go into action. I want you to watch their hands, and watch them do certain things, whether put their hands behind their head, start touching their face, sticking their finger in their ears. The minute that I showed up, they'll go into action. And again, that shows me again because I talk about how also how they manipulate the street lights. Okay, so when I'm driving, I'm very careful because they literally will turn that street light red or green depending on what it is they're trying to do. So if there's a cop nearby and they want me to get a ticket, you know, when the light change green, sometimes it goes right back to red. And I'm gonna get that on video one day. Trust me on that. Like I have gotten other things in video which took me a while to get, but finally I was able to get it. Okay, so let's go. So here is the bus stop right here, and I brighten up the image so you guys can see. So the minute I show up, he comes off. Look at her. She stopped playing with her hair. Stick her hands in her ears. He started taking his hands in his ears, hands in her ears. This guy putting his hand behind his back. Okay, this woman here takes out her phone. Okay, this is what they do. The minute if you're a TI, the minute you show up somewhere, they'll start touching their hair, sticking their hands in their ears, taking out their phone in front of you, and it'll be a group of people. And like again, not everybody there did that. Okay, but there've been people there who've been strategically placed there that are engaging in this because they are placed along the path in which you're traveling. Okay, and they know when I go grocery shopping, I have to pick up Pam at her job. This is the route that I take. I hardly deviate from this route, so it's easy for them to station people at every corner to psychologically harass me or engage in psychological harassment. Okay, so again, she gotta start playing with her hair. She looked at me. Let's go back. I want you guys to see this. Alright. So she was standing here, she starts playing with her hair. The minute she sees me, because she was looking over at me. You know, she's looking up as she's walking, looking up in the sky. Okay, I'm still learning this software. You know, I haven't spent a lot of time on it. But what I've been doing is just importing my videos directly into the software instead of double clicking on it and then having the video open up that way, because you know they've tried to prevent me from doing that, and so I'm doing it this way. Hopefully I can keep it this way, recording this way for quite a while before they do something to prevent me from doing it this way also. Okay. Did she just stick her tongue out at me? Let's go back. I think she stuck her tongue out at me. The Asian lady right here. Did she? Hold up. They do it so quick. Or did she just pout her lips? Okay. Now Now, I want to show you guys when I talk about the mental illness that these people have and what they'll do. Okay, and I'm serious. Okay, they want to call us crazy, right? Because, again, that's how psychological coercive persuasion work, right? It's psychological, so it's covert psychological harassment. Okay, and that's just one aspect of it. Yeah, I'm not even getting into the direct energy weapons that they use, the illegal microchipping for the purpose of remote monitoring. I'm not even going to get into that in this video, but most TIs are microchip for remote neural monitoring, and this is how they are perfecting the technology through us. We are the guinea pigs. Okay, so they're gonna have to try to shut us up. Okay, they're gonna villainize us. Okay, that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna manipulate the public. Okay, into viewing you as some type of bad person that needs to be watched. Okay, because they have to cover their ass. Okay. There was a police car here somewhere, if I remember, and there was another young lady that was walking, and again playing with her hair. As soon as the police car drives by, she starts to touch her hair and stuff like that. Uh, trying not to make this video too long. I want to keep you guys interested. I don't want to make it too long and drawn out. But I gotta show these parts because they're very important. 'Cause I wanted to show the tactics. I want you guys to see how they operate, right? How they work in tandem with one another. Okay. So I think it's one of these people over here. Yeah, so you gotta look over there. And she started touching her hair as soon as I pulled out to the stoplight. That's what you see me fixing the camera because I'm showing her. Yeah, I got you on video. So that's why you see the camera is moving. Cause she's looking over here and I'm showing her. Yeah, I got you on video. They start looking at their phone. They always do that. If I, let them know I'm recording, they'll start looking at their phone. Okay, see that's the police vehicle. All right, now watch this guy right here. As soon as I turn, he is going to now, because he's waiting for me, right? He's waiting for me. So as soon as I turn, he's gonna jump in. He's gonna try to jump in front of me, but I don't think I let him get in front of me. But this is what they do. And I've had a video where I was going to the airport where I was showing you this guy in his SUV waiting on the side, and as soon as he sees me, he drove off in front of me and continued to target me as I think I was going to pick up Pam and the kids at the airport. Okay. So yeah, I didn't let him get in front of me. Okay, but this is the stuff that they do. They'll wait on the side of the highway. Example, he's waiting on the on ramp to get on the highway, waiting for me, and then here's another vehicle. Okay, and I think at this point they know I'm recording, so you just stay right there. And again, same type of van. That number 32. Again, the use of um, power suggestion. Okay, the anchors and triggers. Okay, so I'm not going to play all of it because I want to get to the next video. All right. Okay, so we went grocery shopping, came back to the house. This is the next day. This is Saturday, the 6th, and I was taking Pam and the kids to a birthday party in Harlem that she got invited to, and so I said, okay, I was supposed to go home on Friday, but I said, I know she's not gonna make it on time, so I was like, I'll take her. So waiting for her, and I noticed this guy behind the car, and I talked about this in let's go. I talked about this. Let me find. Where are we at here? Okay, my space, your space, not behind me. So I talk about the tactic of people coming directly behind you, whether you're standing, like I'm in the car, so they're gonna come behind the car so I can see them in my rearview mirror, because he wants to see if I was recording, and I wasn't recording. Okay, so but I knew what he was going to do. So immediately as he went onto the sidewalk and he wasn't looking, I started recording. And sure enough, he comes and stands up, like I said they do, on the side of the car. Okay.
Look at this perp. Look at him. He was standing behind the car.
So now he sees I'm recording. He sees the
Now
cat.
that he knows that I'm
phone.
videotaping him, he
Turns around
and,
and
walks
he walks
off.
away. Okay.
So this is
Let's see that again. You try to be very slick, right? So
he was standing behind the car.
acting as he's talking on the phone. See,
And
his
he's
mouth
talking
not
to me.
moving. He's not talking to anybody. He's
Now
not
that,
listening to anybody
he
because you're
knows
not
that
hearing
I'm
anything.
videotaping him, he turns around and
Okay. They're funny. A lot of times I have to laugh at them because they're pretty funny. Look, his mouth
He's
not
standing
moving.
behind the
He's
car.
not talking to anybody.
trying to target me. See? Now that he knows that I'm videotaping him, he turns
He
around
walks
and
away.
walks off.
See how he puts his phone down?
So this
You
is
see
this is
in
the kind of thing that they do.
The
right?
reflection on the
He
door.
stood up behind me
He puts his
to
phone down.
see if I was recording. When he saw I wasn't recording, he came and he stand over here to the side. All right. Now, then he saw my mouth moving, realizing that I am recording. He turns around and walks away. This is a tactic of perpetrators. That's what they do.
Okay. All right. So, remember, I have to be very selective in my recording because, again, I realized that the storage space on my phone had went down to 5 GB, right? And they did this on purpose because they knew they had certain things set up. And had I not checked the storage on my phone, I would not have realized that, and I probably would have used up all of the space, you know. So I had to be very strategic in terms of what to record. Okay, so let's get to the next video. Okay, let's skip past some of this stuff. I want to get to a particular part, which is right here. Okay. Now, see this police car over here? Okay, let me go back a little bit. Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back. So as I pulled up, they're standing outside. Now they see me. Can you see when you see that car, right? When that car made that turn. See, now they see me. Now they're gonna get into their vehicle. Okay, you're gonna see me, just in the camera, because they were waiting for me. They were looking directly at me. All right, and I zoomed up a little bit. Okay. All right. So they know I'm recording. Okay. And it was a very it wasn't, the sun wasn't out. It was very gloomy. Okay. It was very gloomy, and they're very slick. I tell you, some of these police officers, when they engage in these tactics, they'll either cover up their badge number, okay, or they'll do things like what I'm about to show you here, because they don't want to be, they don't want their face to be seen on video. So you'll see what they do with this police car. And again, remember, it's not a sunny day. Okay, it's a very gloomy day. You look at the skies, no sun. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, so now you're gonna see me position the camera, because I want to catch them. Now look at this taxi. He's gonna try to jump in front of me. Okay, but I'm not gonna let him, because I know what they're trying to do. Let's go forward here a little bit. You're gonna see they're about to, well, there was another car on the other side, and they were both trying to sandwich me right in the middle, and so I stayed close to the car in front of me. Now look, see, I turned the cameras. Okay, and what happened? See, they have a shade, a sunshade on the windows in the vehicles, because they don't want to be caught on camera. Okay, so I can't see their face. Like I say, remember, there's no need for them to have a sunshade on. It's not sunny outside. Okay, outside was very gloomy. You could see it yourself. There's no sun. But because they don't want to be caught on camera, okay, they're gonna have their sunshade on the window. Okay? And again, when stuff like this happen, especially you as a TI, when you see police behaving in that manner, they know what they're doing is wrong. They know what they're doing is a crime. Okay? That's why they do that stuff. That's why they'll, I've had police officers come in front of me and target me and had black tape around their 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 badge number. Okay? Or as soon as they see me take up my phone, all of a sudden they want to take their hands off their weapon. Okay? They're walking towards me with their hands on their weapon. All right? So what does that tell you? Okay? I mean, come on. Okay, so I think at this point is where I end the video because again, like I said, I was low on space. So let's go to the next video. So we're in Harlem, drop hams off, and I was about to head back to Brooklyn, and as I turned, I saw another police vehicle, SUV, with again cops standing outside the vehicle. As soon as they see me, they jump back into the video, and I thought I had hit the record button on my phone, but I didn't. It didn't record it, so I was like, man, that if I had got that on video, that would have been real good because you guys would have seen the pattern. So the thing that convincing because you would have seen it again, right? But for some reason, I know I hit the record button, but the phone didn't. The phone didn't record, and I hit it like twice. So I don't, what happened. But anyway, so got a call from Pam. She was like, "Hey, why don't you come to the party?" So I turned back around, and I got parking space here. But, I was like, the way because she called me immediately after I drove past those police officers, so I knew something was at work here. So I didn't go into the party. I got parking, and I stayed in the car. And I had the radio on, and yeah, but I had the engine off, and I woke up about half an hour later, couldn't start the car, the battery died, and I was like, oh shoot. So I had to flag down a taxi. I think a couple of them before. Finally got one guy who had jumper cables, and he gave me a boost, and I had to pay him $10. But I had to go into there was a laundromat right across from me, right here on the left side. And when I went in there, I think I took $20 out, came back out. All of a sudden, all these people walking by, staring into the laundromat. I'm like, okay, what's going on? So then I sat back down in the car, and I noticed this woman here. She all of a sudden came and she sat down here, but she was doing all these hand signals and stuff like that. So I'm like, all right, fine. So I put I had the car running, so put the phone on the charger and started recording. But before I started recording, there was a guy, which you're not going to see because my phone died, right? And so I was trying to restart my phone because I had it plugged into the charger. I was trying to do it in a sneak way, okay, so that he wouldn't see because I wanted to catch him. So this guy, he was wearing black with white lettering on his shirt, and in the back it had the number 4. And every time I keep looking up, he would turn around so I could see the number 4. Then he'll turn facing towards me, and he would grab his penis. He was wearing a sweatpants, a black sweatpants with a black shirt with white lettering, right? And he kept grabbing his penis, and I was like, "Damn, hurry up, waiting for this phone to start." And I turned on the phone, okay, but somehow somebody must have somebody that was looking out that gave him the signal that my phone is on. And because immediately as my phone turned on, he turned away and walked away. So now this lady here, now she's, remember I tell you, she's doing all these hand signals. I put my phone on the mount, started recording, and she kept her head down. The entire time I was in the car recording, she kept her head down. You would see she will not look in my direction at all. She wouldn't even not look down the sidewalk in my direction. Okay, and you could tell she was a
Right.
plant
So
because people keep walking by and they
this
kept
woman
looking at
here,
her.
she's
It's
sitting
like they
here,
knew what she was up to.
right?
Okay.
You see how she's hiding her face? Because she doesn't want to be recognized. Okay, so from the time I've been parked here, I fell asleep, and when I woke up, she was sitting there, and she started doing all these hand signals and stuff like that. And you have people walking her. There was a guy that walked up towards her. He was talking to her, and he turned towards me, and he grabbed his penis. He was wearing black sweats with a black shirt that had the number 4 on it. So he kept turning away so I could see his back with the number 4 on it. He turns around, grabs his penis, and then he walked off, right?
Yeah,
So this woman over here,
lady walked
people
there.
been
She
walking,
stuck her hands in
like,
her
towards her.
ear.
She's sitting there.
Okay,
She
let's
looked
go
like
back
a-
again. Right. So again, these
I'm saying
perpetrators, they think that they're threatening me in any way.
Before
Or
he
it's
turns
not
around, grabs his penis, and then
She goes, and
he walked
she
off,
puts
right?
her hands in her ears. You don't really
So
see
this
it,
woman
but
over
her,
here,
and you
she's
see
the
her
people
hands.
walking
You see the action
like
of her
towards
hands.
her. She's sitting there. She looked like a, I don't know if she's homeless or not, but she kept doing these hand signals and stuff. And it's just interesting how they get people to do this, and how they're so afraid of getting caught, right? That said, they're being very, very sneaky. And as I put my phone back in the camera mount, I've noticed that people will come up to the back window of the car, stand there, and then turn back around and walk away, right? This is some of the stuff that they do, okay? But again, it just goes to show you, right, that if they're so right about what it is that they're doing, why not just do it up front, while the camera is rolling, right? While it's being recorded, why not just do it blatantly, right? If they're so correct and they're so right in what they're doing. And that tells you that they know what they're doing is a crime, and they don't want to get caught doing it. So she must be one of these people who, I guess, they don't want to be recognized, okay? Because again, they know what they're doing and they're committing a crime, okay? And so she's been sitting there hiding her face, okay, so that I can't see her.
She has not even looked in my direction.
Which is
She has her face
I'll
turned.
tell you.
And you see people walking by and they
Yes.
keep looking at her, and that's the kids that was the kids' voice that you hear. They had left the party at that time. Okay, so took them. We were heading back to Brooklyn, and we decided to get something to eat, and then we went into Macy's. So we went into Macy's. I think I bought a jacket. Came back out, got to the car, and then I got to the car. This dude in this red jacket comes across the street. We were staring at the window, okay, it's a glass panel, right? Looks at me, stick his finger in his ears, and walked off, okay? And I was just like, wow, But anyway, after I dropped Pam home and the kids, I was on my way home, and then again, you'll see, two police officers again outside of their vehicle, okay, which, usually police officers don't just stand aside their vehicle like that. And I was showing you, going into Manhattan with the two cops, when they saw me, got in their vehicle, made the U-turn and parked up, but they had that screen on their window, so I couldn't record their faces. So you see these two guys, and they're hidden under the cover of darkness, okay? Right? So again, they're very strategic, right? And again, they know that I'm recording. They know what kind of phone I have. They know the sensitivity of the ISO, so I'm not going to get a really clear picture of them from that distance. They know all of this, okay? This is how they keep ahead of everything that we do. These people have become and are very knowledgeable about what equipment you have, what phone you have, because they've hacked into your phone. They've hacked into my phone many times, like I said, And every time they do this, they keep decreasing the storage space on my phone. Okay, because they they install their spyware, malware, and it takes up a ton of space on my phone. And they're able to manipulate my phone, open up apps that they want me to see, you know, prevent me from recording, okay, and stuff like that. So here you'll see them cover on the night, the darkness, and I had to basically try to lighten up this video a little bit compared to how it was. So this is a lot lighter because it was really, really dark.
Yeah, look at these two cops over here.
And again, you'll see one of them, he's going to do this. Right?
Putting his hand behind his head, doing this.
Mm-hmm. So I start doing the same thing back. And when I start doing the same thing back,
start doing the same thing to the other one. Walking over that side, putting his hand on him. So I'm gonna do it again. This is what they do.
You see, and
to the side,
he
so
puts his hand on his chest.
The camera, you know, they're very slick. Look at them, very, very slick.
Okay. And let me just say this: I do have a bracelet on, and it has it's a two-color bracelet. And so when I did that, I wasn't trying to trigger or target anybody. I forgot that I had the bracelet on because it's one of these rubber bracelets. So I do apologize if you feel triggered. It's not my intention to trigger you. You know, next time I guess I'll take off the bracelet if I'm going to do something like that. On my other hand, I have my watch on. I don't want to do with my watch on. So, you know, again, I apologize if you feel triggered. It's not my intention to trigger you in any way, because I know they use colors to trigger us. Okay. All right. All right. So let's see. So I'm heading home. Okay. All right. So head home. Got parking. And let's get to the next video. Okay, so got parking, got out of the car, started walking to my apartment building. And so you think this is over? Nope. Because now you'll see what they'll do. You know, I use a young lady again.
Okay, let's see. So after a night,
as soon as she sees me walking up, she
yeah,
starts playing with her hair.
And I'm going to. Now she stops. See, I'm recording.
Now see how she gets to a distance where she sees that I have my phone in my hand, so she knows I'm recording. So all of a sudden now she stops playing with her hair, right? And I've never seen this
a good picture of her.
Young lady before.
Let's
on
see,
this block,
social media. What should I do? Facebook, YouTube.
Okay, so let's see if we can get a good picture of her. All right. Now again, it was very dark. If I show you how dark it was, you'd be surprised how much I've lightened it up. Okay, that's why it looks the way it does. Okay.
Go on.
So look how she's just walking straight. She's not looking at me, you know. She's like, because she don't want me to get a good picture of her face, so she's not gonna look at me. If I didn't have my camera, the phone recording, she'll be looking at me, giving me this look, you know. Nope, but not tonight. Not tonight, because she knows I have to. I'm recording. So this is what they do. So let me show you guys how the video actually. And I do have full dynamic range on. So let me go refresh. Okay, let me put everything back the way it was, so you guys actually see how much I had to lighten this stuff up. Okay. All right. Oh, what did I just do? Okay. Oh, that's the fade. Okay, so right. So I'm going to play this video again so you guys can see, right? You see the difference. See how dark it was? Okay.
Right?
That's how dark it was. Okay. So I had to do a lot of, not really a lot of work, but just lighten up so you guys be able to see, get an image of her, so you guys can at least partially make her out, right? So again, this is what they do. This is how they target me, and this is how they targeted me this weekend. All right, and I hope I'm able to show what it is that they're doing to me, the covert psychological operation or warfare against me. Okay, that and I can't record the remote neural monitoring. Can't do that, but you know, get the headaches that I normally get when I'm being remote neural monitored. Because usually when I'm being attacked like this psychologically, covertly, with involving the police and civilian perpetrators, I'm on the heavy remote neural monitoring because they're monitoring to see if I'm afraid. They're monitoring to see what I'm thinking, okay, and they're monitoring to see, you know, what type of emotions that they can get out of me, okay. So this happens all the time, all the time, okay.